Hi everyone, it's Comics Villain and welcome to The Backstory. In comics, just like in life, more often than not, you learn about the current life of the main character and later learn about their backstory. I wanted to get out there and show people a little bit about who the current line of indie content creators are, where they came from, and what lies ahead. In this series, I've contacted each creator to get specifics on themselves to share with you today. Alright, let's dive in. On this episode, we'll be discussing Raven Monroe. So, I had the pleasure of having Raven actually record her own answers, so let's hear from her firsthand exactly who she is.
My name is Raven Monroe. I'm a digital artist located in sunny San Diego. I'm originally from a really teeny tiny town in Arkansas. I compare it to the middle of nowhere in Courage the Cowardly Dog. I did attend the Art Institute of San Diego for a short period of time before the school shut down. Majority of my learning there was 3D related, so 3D models, things of that nature, which has helped translate into my comic work a good bit as far as shading goes. Shading in like a 3D environment. It helps me out a good deal. But since then, all of my studying's basically been from good old Google.
As for Raven's current project, it's called Machi the Lazy Witch, issues 1 and 2, which had a very successful Kickstarter campaign that ran up until, October 13th, 2019. It had 106 backers who pledged $6,200. So it was a great campaign, very great start for their comic. You can also catch Raven on Twitter. So, how long have you been writing and drawing for, and what got you into it?
I've been hobby drawing since I was little. The joke is, like, since I was born, I had a crayon in my hand. But I've only been drawing seriously for the past 3 years. And by seriously, I mean watching videos and actively taking online classes and things like that. What got me into writing and drawing? Well, I grew up in a really low-income family, so we didn't really have a lot of things to entertain ourselves. So after we finished rewatching the same episode of Billy and Mandy 90 times, we were out of stuff to do. So it kind of fell on me to entertain my brothers, so I liked to draw and tell them stories.
So, what got you into comics, and what were your first comics?
I've always loved manga and anime, but American mangakas aren't too well received here. So I decided to give comics a go instead, and I've really taken to it. I've really fallen in love with it. So my first comic that I ever got was from a subscription my aunt signed me up for. It was the Powerpuff Girls, and I loved it. I loved it so much. Not only was I a Powerpuff Girl fan, but it was so cool having a physical item in my hand that I could turn the pages to and look at, and it was just the coolest thing. From the Powerpuff Girls, I went just into manga, and then the next comic I picked up was Rags, a zombie shopping spree. So, polar opposites, Powerpuff Girls and Rags, but you know what I mean.
Now, for one of my favorite questions, which artists or writers have inspired you?
Oh man, okay, this list would be really long if I were to tell you them all, so I'll just give you the most important ones. I really love the writing and art by Jake Morrison and Danny and Ramen. It's a very Adventure Time feel, very chill, very relaxed, very realistic dialogue, and I also love the writing in Rags by Brian Ball. It does a really good way of like showing, not telling. It's really great. I love it. And then I love all their work by Offshoot Comics as well. Oddwell. Oh my gosh, I love Oddwell.
Was there anything prior to your current project that you worked on?
So the past couple years, I've really focused on mostly just commissions and independent work, mostly character-related illustrations. But one really cool opportunity I had early this year was to do some character con support for Lindsay Sterling's, which was I can't go too into that, of course, but it was really cool. It was a really cool experience. I learned a lot.
Are there any future projects you'd be interested in creating?
Oh, this is really exciting. So I am currently working on another project alongside Machi. Machi, the Lazy Witch, of course, being a slice of life fantasy. This next comic I'm working on is a dark fantasy adventure. So polar opposite. I have Machi's the light. This new story is the dark. A more mature audience, definitely aimed towards adults. So I'm really excited to share more about that with you guys here soon after I finish wrapping up issue 1 and 2 of Machi and then jumping into future issues.
Is there anything you'd like to mention about your current project, Machi the Lazy Witch?
Well, as some of you might know, Machi the Lazy Witch just wrapped up on Kickstarter. It was fully funded, and oh my gosh, I'm so floored by it. I can't thank you guys enough. But because it was on Kickstarter, there were quite a few individuals who really heavily requested Indiegogo, and since I received just so many requests, I don't want to exclude anyone, so I'm going to be relaunching Machi on Indiegogo for anyone who wants to order through that. I'll be posting updates on that as things go. All of the covers and trading cards and exclusives for the Kickstarter will be completely changed for the Indiegogo, so collectors, you have options now.
Lastly, do you have any advice for up-and-coming comic creators?
Oh my gosh. So, my biggest advice would be don't let the fear of failure hold you back from chasing something. The faster you fail, the closer you are to reaching your goal the next time. So fail faster. That's my advice. Just fail faster.
That's it for this episode of The Backstory. I hope you enjoyed hearing about Raven. Let's support our indie creators. If you haven't yet, please hit the subscribe button. Help me reach that 1,000 subscriber milestone. Also, like, share, and comment on what you think about Raven's upcoming book. I have had a chance to read it, as well as my daughter, and we both agree it's a great book. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Take care, and have a great rest of your day.